In a previous video, we tested this subwoofer in a dual enclosure setup. But in this video, we're going to be testing the performance of it in a single enclosure setup. And the main objective of this video is to see how important are manufacturers' recommendations when it comes to internal volume. The engineers over at B2 Audio actually have somewhat of a sliding scale when it comes to the recommended internal volume. A ported or compact enclosure is only recommended 1.75 cubic feet for this subwoofer. However, they also have a recommended or suggested ported volume for this subwoofer, which is 2.66 cubic foot. So for two of them, it's a little bit over 5 cubic feet. The dual enclosure that I tested it in was actually 4 cubic foot. So in a nutshell, you have two recommended volumes. The smallest you can get is 3 cubic foot, and the largest that they recommend in this case would be around 5 cubic feet. The enclosure that I tested it in was actually, it's like a sweet medium in between the sliding scale from B2 Audio. But what exactly would this thing sound like in an enclosure built to the recommended volume? Well, in this video, we're going to be testing it in a subwoofer enclosure that is 2.75 cubic foot after displacement, so that we can see exactly what this subwoofer is capable of doing. In my opinion, this subwoofer should attain well over a 140 decibel score, meaning that it should get at least a 141 or 142. But I'm not sure. You never know until you actually test these things. So leave a comment in the sections below. What do you think the performance is going to be out of this single subwoofer setup? And do you think that manufacturer specification is all that important? All right, so right now I'm in the process of getting this single 12-inch subwoofer enclosure installed into my car, and all I have for speaker terminals are 2 bolt and nuts that I have on the exterior of the box. But I want to actually do something a bit better for this. So today, this is what we're going to be using to actually connect that single subwoofer to inside of this enclosure. And as you guys can tell, it has spots for first voice coil and second, and what that does is it allows me to be able to leave the subwoofer installed while I test different amplifiers on the subwoofer. And I want to be able to wire the subwoofer to those impedances without having to remove the whole thing from the enclosure. All right, so when you got everything wired up, this is pretty much what it should look like. There you have it. Ease your installation by buying yourself something like this, by implementing something like this. You can find these over at the website, budgetbasedmerch.store. Go check out my store and get yourself one of these. I also have other variants of them. So now you have your 4 leads that go straight to the amplifier. 4 leads that go to each of the voice coil, subwoofer voice coil. Now you got 4 independent leads for the subwoofer amplifier. All right, so this is the B2 Audio XL12, and this is a dual voice coil subwoofer. 2 push terminals over here, positive and negative. 2 push terminals over here, positive and negative. So what we're gonna have to do is take our negative lead, connect it over here, and take our positive leads and do the same thing. Okay, so now that we have the subwoofer connected and we have access to the terminals, we're going to be using this multimeter to actually monitor the coil reading, and we're going to set the impedance values and let you guys see in real time how easily it is right now to set the impedance values for your amplifier. All right, so we got voice coil 1 is 1.1 ohms of impedance. Let's do the second one. And this is voice coil 2. Voice coil 2 is around, every time I say something, it moves. So you see it's around 1.2 ohms of impedance as well. So the coils are good. Now, how do you wire this in parallel and series externally? I'm gonna show you 2 methods. Okay, so as you guys can see, I simply twisted positive to positive and negative to negative. And we're getting 0.7 and 0.6 ohms of impedance. That's what you want, because remember, it was 1.2 each. So you cut that in half, that's what, 0.6, 0.5 is because of that. So 1.2 divided by 2 is 0.6. The more I move, the more it moves, sorry. But let's do series wiring now. In order to do series wiring, you take one of the positives and one of the negatives and you twist them together. And then the other two available leads goes to your amplifier. This is series wiring. It brings the impedance value up times 2. So we're gonna increase whatever one of those coils is times 2. In this case, we had a 1.2 ohm load per coil. We're gonna multiply that by 2, and that should give you a 2.4 ohms of impedance load. Let's check the meter. And there you go, 2.4 ohms of impedance if I stop moving. Okay. But you guys get it. That'll be series wiring, and that 2.4 ohms of impedance load is what the amplifier will see. All right, so now we got everything connected. Got the amp rack in. Over here, that's the Rage 7800 for the bass. We got the Rage 1200.4 for the mids and highs. Yeah, I said we should go ahead and start this thing up and see what it sounds like. What do you guys think? Yeah, let's do that. So we now have the box turned around facing the rear of the vehicle. And what this is going to do is allow the lid to become a loading chamber for the subwoofer. And we're going to see if that's going to give us any gains or not. In a lot of cases, this here will help with your SPL score, just depending on how your vehicle is constructed. But please note that my car isn't actually, geared toward SPL or anything like that. I still have all my factory carpeting and all those linings are still there in the vehicle. I did go ahead and install a wooden floor in the vehicle, and that's about it. Nothing else other than the fact that I do have a single layer of kill mat on the trunk lid and on the rear panel. So aside from that, there is nothing bolting the trunk lid to the car or any of those other things that you see in those extreme builds. But being able to load off a hard surface definitely will help keep the cone in control as well, so you can pump just a little bit more power through it. So let's see exactly if this is going to improve the performance of this at all. All right, so as you guys can tell, we're back here in the Impala, and today we're going to be testing out the Rage XL12 by B2 Audio. This subwoofer is a 3500 watt RMS sub, and right now we have it facing the rear of the trunk. To test those dB or decibel scores, we're going to be using the mini bass meter by SPL Lab. This one right here is going to give us our SPL scores in terms of decibels. It's going to have a hold mode here, and it's going to hold our highest peak value, and that's what we want to know in order to score ourselves. To power the system, we're going to be using the B2 Audio Rage 7800 for the subwoofer, and we're going to be using the B2 Audio 1200.4 for the doors. To measure our power coming out of those amplifiers, we're going to be using the SMD AMM1. This is an audio multimeter, and basically it has multiple modes on here that we're going to be using in order to test the system. The mode that we're going to be using the most is going to be called the dyno mode. This is the dyno mode right here, and the dyno mode holds a peak value and gives you those values in impedance, which is ohms, and wattage, which of course is in watts. So that's what we want. We want to know the power that we sent through the sub, and we want to know at what impedance value it was. With that being said, we're going to be using an Android application in order to send signal to the subwoofer. This is a basic frequency generator, and we're going to start off with a bass sweep. The bass sweep is going to be from 150 hertz down to 20 hertz. And the reason you want to get a bass sweep done is because you want to know at what value your cabin peaks. This is going to be different per vehicle, and we want to know where we are in this vehicle. So to do a bass sweep, get your volume about 50% or so. It depends on your system, and then just hit play and see what value you peak at. Later on, we're gonna check that with the mini bass meter. All right, so here we go. 150 hertz to 20 hertz. Nice. So that's 154 watts at 2.3 ohms of impedance. Very efficient. Very efficient. They got 132.6 decibels at 100 and something watts. That's not bad at all. But let's see what frequency that is. 37 hertz is what it's calling for. The box is actually tuned to 30 hertz. It's calling for 37 hertz. That may have something to do with it actually loading off the lid of the trunk right there. So let's see what it's gonna do at 37 hertz. We're gonna get everything reset, and we'll get right back at y'all. Okay, we got the application reset at 37 hertz. Let's give it a go. That's 2.2 ohms of impedance at 3,098 watts. Man, it felt like it was way more than that. I ain't gonna lie. I felt that all in my face. Okay, we still have it on. That's not the mode we want. We want to see what the score was. What was the score? That was a 142.4. A 142.4 from one sub, guys. One sub. And that wasn't even RMS power. I bagged off of it because I seen the box walking back. The pressure, it was building up pressure on the lid. You see how it skewed? It was building up so much pressure on the lid, it started walking back towards me. I bagged off of it. That thing is a monster. Oh my God. Okay. For reference, this is an 8,000 watt amplifier. We got some rise. This is 4 times the rise, probably because it's loading off that trunk. So I got it wired at half a ohm, okay, half a ohm. It's 2.2 ohms of impedance, so it's getting 3,098 watts. I think I can get more than that out of it. I'm going in. I'm gonna push that sub right back up there. Get your butt right back up there, and we gonna max them out. Let's do it. All right, guys. So we right back at it. This is 37 hertz. This is what it's called for. Let's get it. I mean, I hope it doesn't fall so you guys can see it in real time. Let's get it. 37 hertz. Woo! Man. Woo! 3,409 watts at 2.3 ohms of impedance. Yes! That Rage 7800 is a monster. Got a little bit louder, 143.3, guys. These ain't no kick scores. You guys already know if we put it in the kick, it's gonna look really, really good. But this is glass scores in the center. The ports on this side, I should be loading it over. You know, I don't even care about all that. This ain't no competition. Put the meter over there. It's supposed to get a little bit louder. I don't care. You guys see it for yourself. That Rage XL is a monster. It's hot up in here. Goodness. If y'all was here and just feel the pressure that is coming out the back of that trunk right there. If you guys could just feel the pressure, it's an amazing experience, man, to know that you got one sub back there doing all of that. One sub doing all of that. Crazy work. I'm gonna turn it around just for shits and giggles and let you guys see, you know, get some cone flex out of it. I want to see what it moves like. So let's do that. Let's turn the box around. All right, so for everybody wondering what this thing move like, man, y'all finna see. Let me reset this up here. I know I'm supposed to do another bass sweep. I'm gonna do another bass. I gotta do it right. I'm so excited. I'm gonna go and do it right. When you reposition the box, you gotta do another bass sweep. So let's do that. But forget it. For the hell of it, we gonna go ahead and flex that boy. Let's go and flex that boy. Here we go. 37 hertz. This thing is crazy, man. 137 still. That's a 137 forward facing on an incorrect frequency, but we don't care. We just wanted to see it flex. Let's do another bass sweep and see what it tells us to do. All right, so here we go. Bass sweep, 150 to 20 hertz. Let's get it. All right, that's 20 hertz. From my ear, I'm gonna say 32 hertz. Let's see what the meter says. Let's see what the meter says. In my ears, let me stop this. It's hot out here, y'all. Look at this. Anyway, it's 89 degrees. Let's see what the meter says. I told y'all, look at that. From my ears, that's what it sounds like. That's what it feels like in the cabin as I watch the bass sweep. Anyway, so let's get this reset, and we're gonna do it at 32 hertz. Let's get it, baby. All right, we got it set at 32 hertz. Let's get it, baby. Woo, that sounds good. Ooh, snap! Golly, I couldn't even get it all the way up there, man. I couldn't get it all the way up there. Anyway, it felt like a fan up in here, bro. That's a 141.8. I think I could have done better than that. Let's go see if the SMD is still on. Sometimes that thing will go off on you. I bet it timed out. No, it didn't. That's 2.4 4 ohms of impedance at 2,737 watts. It stayed on, y'all. Okay. I'm happy with that. I ain't gonna mess with it no more, man. I ain't gonna mess with it. I ain't gonna mess with it. I'm gonna turn it off. I'm gonna turn it off. I'll be right back. Alright, so that's basically a 142 forward facing in the cabin with nothing else crazy going on. I mean, I can do little things to get a bigger score. We can throw it in the kick. We know there'll probably be a 143 or something crazy like that. We can open doors and all that. We've done it in the past. But man, it's hot. It's hot out here, y'all. I'm sweating. Look at this. And my AC is on. It's 89 degrees. But so the thing is this. This is the thing, right? People look at these subs and they're like, wow, that sub is expensive, you know? Well, when you hit a certain tier of performance, you gotta pay for that, man. You have to pay for it. And this is the thing. Some people are gonna look at this score and be like, well, I have a Sony Explode that did hit a 141. I have, you know, all these different cheaper subs that did a 140. But this is the thing. Can it consistently do that 130, that 141? Look at the power that's being sent through this sub right now. It's not even receiving its RMS power rating, and this is what it's doing. This is your everyday banger. If you just want a street bang, this is what you put in here. They have another tier above this called the Rampage series. I had the 8s, and those things sound phenomenal, underpowered. They sound phenomenal. And this one here is underpowered. This is the XL, the biggest of the Rage series that they have. And you seen it for yourself. This thing here is amazing, man. So leave a comment, drop a comment in the sections below. What would you compare this subwoofer to? Would you purchase this subwoofer? Do you think it performs in its price bracket? Let me know what you guys think in the comment sections below. And also let me know what kind of enclosure would you put this in? What do you want to see me build for this subwoofer? Drop a comment in the sections below and I'll see you there. Thanks for visiting the channel to help you simplify car audio. It's the Budget Bass here and I'm out.